Throughout Barack Obama's 2012 re-election campaign, there have been nagging questions about voter enthusiasm. Reporters and pundits alike continue to report that this year was by no means like 2008. But as the final voter tally racked up in Obama's favor, the streets seemed to erupt with the same fever of 4 years ago. And while post-game data is still being collected, it would seem that the energy that propelled the junior senator to the White House 4 years ago hasn't gone anywhere.
In fact, it appears it may have expanded, if not in total votes, but in the size of what is now being called the new Democratic base. While Obama lost ground amongst white voters, his 2012 victory represents perhaps the most diverse electoral coalition in American history, leaving the Republican Party with some serious questions about their future. While it was a smaller and more youthful crowd who celebrated this time, a quick scan of the jubilation provides an illustration of the demographic shift that is now dominating post-election analysis. Spend a little time in Logan Circle in Washington, D.C., and you are quick to find many representations of this new politically strengthened base. Whether talking to a young or African-American voter, they stress that their excitement and dedication to the Obama campaign had not faded the least bit during this round.
I really feel as though that, the excitement, given everything that was on the table, that it measured up to, the same excitement that we had like 4 years ago.
I just felt about the same because I felt like the reality of the situation the first time around was just as present as it is now.
This time, I think, in my opinion, I think it was the same excitement, but people, he started driving the car and you want him to finish the race. I think he's leading the race, and now he gets to finish, opposed to somebody else coming in and finishing the race for him.
Couple this with some key Democratic victories in the Senate, and Obama's base may have very well entered the voting booth with a greater dedication to the agenda as opposed to the candidate.
The last time the president was elected, the country was getting ready to fall off a cliff. We didn't fall off the cliff for 4 years, so I think that we're going in the right direction,
No, I mean, although the economy is bad, but we feel as though that, it's getting better, and if Congress can work together, I really feel as though that we can really get ahead, because the president really has a lot of great initiatives, I believe, on the table.
The post-game highlight reel offers interesting impressions of what went wrong within the Republican bid. When asked how they would explain Mitt Romney's loss, both Romney and Obama supporters cite the Republicans' refusal, or perhaps inability, to appeal to the changing American demographic.
I think they need to broaden its base. I think they need to reach out to Latinos strongly and to be a gathering place for people across the globe, not just in the United States, but this has become a much more diverse citizenry in the United States. And so I think the Republican Party needs to reach out and embrace that and understand that.
I think I would tell them you probably lost because you don't care about the entire country. You only care about a few people, and I mean, to be the president, you have to care about everybody. That's why you lost, and it showed that you didn't care.
I just don't feel like he was able to really connect with a lot of people out there, especially maybe with minorities or with women or just with anybody from the middle class.
20 years from now, the country will be a lot different than it is today, and it's a lot different than it was in the 90s and the 80s. This country, I don't think it's going 20 years from now, it might not be racist. Hispanics, so many different cultures are mixing and blending and creating, and it really doesn't matter anymore. So I think Republicans, I would tell Romney that they will have to start reaching out to every demographic opposed to just worrying about a party.
In the long term, the Republican Party will certainly need to spend a substantial amount of time analyzing how they fit within this evolving paradigm. But, in the immediate sense, the 2012 results provide little more than a return to a divided American electorate. It's clear that the energy of Obama's base provide insight into where the country's population is heading.
But what is unclear is how the endorsement to stay the course will cooperate with the reality that many of the primary political players will be returning to Washington. Christopher Booker, Financial Times, Washington, D.C.